Hey there everybody from Twin Oaks Family Farm in rural Southeast Ohio, USA. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Twin Oaks Farm Poultry. Thanks for joining us here. We're doing chores in the meat bird production barn. So actually 429 Cornish rock cross meat chickens, 23 days old, I think. 23 days old. They were hatched June 12th, 2024, and going to processing July 22nd, 2024. So we're working through some of the maintenance tasks in the building. These kind of tasks get done multiple times a day, about 4 times a day. So we're a household of 5, so that's helpful because then with all of our schedules away from home and with all the tasks that need done for the meat chickens, we can help each other. So it really works out well to have multiple people hands-on in a project like this. So even just like this part of the project, my husband is conditioning the bedding. So basically just taking the pitchfork and turning the bedding over. So we do that for a couple reasons: to work against the birds packing it down, and to also mitigate some of the heat production that comes off of the bedding. So as you're raising livestock and they're manuring onto the flooring and into their bedding, that biological material produces its own heat. So that's actually raising the ambient temperature around your animals. So we've learned from research and experience that if we turn the bedding about 3 different times, like 3 different days, if you just kind of keep it working, aerating it and turning and conditioning it, you can actually mitigate some of that heat production. So after about 3 times turning it, it seems to stop producing heat. But sometimes it's kind of just a gamble if you'll be able to continue to turn it that much, because if they pack it down enough and saturate it enough, it becomes clumps that you're really not able to loosen up by just simply turning it over. So we work with it as long as we can, but then at some point you do need to put more bedding down, and we've learned from firsthand experience, you need to keep the bedding kind of loose and fluffy on the top, keep it dry, and let it give the birds some cushion. You definitely want it there to absorb the manure material, which for poultry, the manure includes the urine material too. So all the waste is in that package of the chicken manure. So it's a very wet manure. That's why chicken manure is so wet and heavy and can produce fumes and produces so much heat. So we try to use just management tasks like conditioning the bedding, as you're seeing there. So I had done about half the building. Tops of my arms and shoulders were getting tired, and my husband said he'd take over on that. So we'd also filled waters. So we do have quite a bit of water capacity in the pen right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big waters. So that's about 30 gallon, and we've still got about 10 of the single gallon waters down on the floor. So that's 40 gallon, and then I've got about 10 more that we're going to fill. 8 of them are over there. So we'll actually end up with about 50 gallon water capacity on the floor, and they need it. So then feed, and also feed. So we had cleaned out feed trays. We've got these 2 homemade feed trays, and we had just elevated them. We're trying to discourage exactly what you're seeing here. The birds were getting on top of them. That creates a lot of waste because they kick a lot of it out, but even raising it didn't discourage that. We have on order feeders like these. We need to get more of these feeders in here, and at this point it's just a matter of patience waiting on those feeders to get here. So we like these bigger feeders, even like that plastic one or like this one. They'll hold about 40 pounds at a time and allow a lot of birds to circle up around the feeder. So that's what we want in here, they're on order, and we're being patient until they get here. So, but conditioning the bedding is a big deal, really helps our birds. So, hey, happy Independence Day, by the way. It is July 4th, 2024. Jared, I was thinking of, like, if you made a list, like 10 reasons not to be a farmer, one of them would be because you don't get a day off on the holidays, do you? No. So bad weather, you don't get any time off from doing chores for your livestock or your crops. Holidays, it's still got to be done, but it is still a holiday. But this is what farmers do on a holiday. So you know, they still got to take care of the livestock, take care of the crops, whatever their production operation is. So we do wish you a happy July 4th, American Independence Day.